shut up. It's all I wanted to say. For a society right now that don't believe in God, they're searching so hard for God in a man. They're searching for God in a human being. And so for some of these people, Trump and people like Trump, they feel like it's the closest to God that they can find because he's telling them what to do and bullying them and putting fear in their heart, that they see a human being that they feel like can touch them in a way where he can lock me up. There's no freedom of speech. They can retaliate on me. They can send the people to my doorstep saying that I'm saying the wrong thing about the MAGA regime. You know, it's people now look to him like a god. There's people on this platform that just by me saying that are ready to get off their butts and push back on me, even though that motherfucker ain't doing nothing for them. Trump is doing nothing for any of these supporters of his on this platform, but yet they will ride and fight and argue and fight and claw for this motherfucker. And all the policies he's passing and putting into fruition are negatively impacting them. That's how it is. The oppressor makes you feel like they're for your benefit. It's the Stockholm syndrome. It's almost like a battered wife gets beaten saying, my husband loves me, or my man loves me, and he's beating the shit out of me. That's what's going on. But I land.
Yeah, anything is to say, all right, I think that I want to take 2 points. Like, so in the bill, and I think people should be really alarmed by this, previous speaker spoke about AI. There's a provision in the bill that they're not going to touch or regulate AI for 10 years.
Yeah,
10 years.
I think they took that out. I think they took that out. Look.
Did they take it out?
Yeah, they took it out, but it's going to come back in other forms, and it's it's taking away the regulation from the states so that the states cannot make individual laws that regulate AI. I actually agree with that provision because it makes it hard for us to digest. And just to the previous gentleman's point, China has actually, and other nations, are heavily investing in AI, which we are as well, but we need to heavily invest in AI. I know that's controversial, but you absolutely need it.
Yeah, I agree, but I think that even China has started regulations. I don't know. I mean, what regulations do we have so far except for taking celebrities and making them into like porn stars? Like, that's the only thing I know of.
We got AI determining what mortgages are and rent is in the city right now, and coming up with unsubstantiated numbers that can't even be accomplished. Like these AI programs are shutting people out from even finding housing right now. Like, I don't know how you can sit here, and I'm not saying AI doesn't have useful benefits if it was utilized in the right way. But we all know it's being utilized in a sinister way to keep the profits up top with the 1%. The rest of us is expendable. And I think what amazes me is most of us on this platform, I'm not going to say, maybe there's some tycoons on here somewhere. I'm not one of them. But I don't know how you can root for something to take your survival, like to take your ability to earn. It's just really weird to me. People talk about the conveniences of AI and get weird learning, this, that. There's nothing to learn. It's doing your job. You have no use. Like, there's no purpose for you. You don't even have a way to earn once this is fully implemented. And it's getting ready to be fully implemented in the next 365 days or less, where a lot of the white-collar jobs, a lot of the jobs that some of you are doing that think is untouchable is going to be touched. You know, the banking industry, the pharmaceutical industry, so many industries are going to be touched by this. Go ahead, man.
But brother, I think what China was saying is this, right? If China has a superior AI and they get to the AI better than we do, right? Guess who you think American companies going to purchase their products from and a software program AI from? China. So it's going to happen anyway. They're just going to say, hey, China, I'm going to use your AI to run my company. You know, that's the unfortunate thing, that we do have to have it before they do, because it's like a genie in a bottle type thing, right? Do you want them to get it before we do?
We're already behind China. We're already behind China and everything, bro. Technologically wise, bro, we've been behind China. I think the delusion is in itself. No, what do you mean, no? Apparently, look, bro. Here's the thing.
Yeah, no,
A lot of Americans believe, I mean, I'm going to say our military, we have a strong military. I will admit that. But I'm saying, if you look at the technological advances that China is currently utilizing right now, we're not fucking winning at all. So,
Can you let me explain?
I was about to actually mention because I just wanted to add this real fast, and I'm glad he brought that up. When we're talking about AI, China says by 2035 something like 1 out of 10 of their truck fleets will be autonomous. As it is right now, they have a fleet of about 1,000, and it's actually really scary if you look at these videos. It's eerie. There's trucks being designed with literally no cab. It's just a trailer driving down the street with cameras on it and a little computer thing hooked to the brake.
You get that now. You get that now, but I'm talking about the inventors, the creators of the electric cars in America. They might implement things like what Trump was saying like that, but like quantum computer that IBM and other American companies have, the advanced technologies and things like that. I think that we're still on the, even if you look at NASA, I mean, they have that's the cutting edge. Stuff you don't hear about in the news, right? Stuff you just have to go look for it yourself to find out where we at. They're getting closer, but they're definitely not there. They're not there yet on it. We got to put human beings on Mars. They're not there. They haven't really
let me ask you a question, bro. And I know I might sound trivial by saying this. This may sound remedial to you. I keep hearing us talking about going to Mars and putting people on Mars and whatnot. Cool with us.
It's never going to happen.
Why is it though that we don't respect the Earth we're on? Like that's the shit that fucks me up. Like we're on an Earth right now where we're taking away all of the resources. All the trees are being cut down. When you look at the damn Bitcoin and the effect on the environment that Bitcoin has, and ChatGPT, all of these programs that have to utilize Earth resources to run. We don't give a fuck about nothing right now but greed and control and power. And it's just so fucked up that people are looking for other planets to go to the fuck up. And let me say this lastly though, that just goes to show you. I don't know who believes in God on this platform, and I'm not going to go heavy down the rabbit hole of that. But I'm a very big believer in God because he knew this day would come where humans would try to supersede him. And I'm going to call him a him. I don't know what God is to him or her or whatever. But I think it's a force that created everything, and now people want to supersede it. And he knew the humans' intelligence level would get to the point where they thought they were God. We got these miniature gods like Elon Musk wanting to put something in your brain called Neuralink to control you, to download information in your brain, to create a fucking machine out of you. Nature, going against nature right now. We have just a battle against God going on and a battle against God's people. And some of you don't believe in God, and that's cool. But the ones that don't, I encourage you to do some praying, diligence, or whatever to figure it out. Because we're in the last days, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. All of this has been prophesied. People are getting phased out, and ruling for their own demise. You're ruling for your own demise with AI. For real.
Just to reply to I'm trying. Yeah, so the incentive behind the whole Mars thing is it's basically a investor run on naive and gullible people to create like a branding and marketing hype behind it. The individuals who actually have knowledge on it recognize that the odds of us landing on Mars with humans anytime soon is ridiculously low. However, that being said, it's hard to galvanize support for something that would be literally probably decades away. So they just keep lying about it, acting like it's going to happen anytime. It's really not. But they do really want to asteroid mine. They don't want to set up a colony on Mars. I mean, maybe, but that's not real. They do want to asteroid mine, and because the second they have some type of space technology which allows them to gather resources off Earth, like there's insane deposits outside of Earth relatively close compared to how far we've sent satellites. If we could get those satellites to collect resources and come back with them. But again, that's still decades away. But that's not going to get the market excited, so they act like we're going to go to Mars and
That's the degree, because, like I said, all of the resources the Earth has provided is enough. It's an ample enough resource for everyone to live on.
No,
But we turned it into business, man. We turned water into business. We turned. Go ahead.
so, yeah, just look, I understand your passion. I agree with a lot of your points, but if everyone tried to live like Americans, we'd need like 10 more Earths. Okay, and that's what's happening. You're seeing China and India and other countries and even parts of Africa now coming into. I don't like the term, but it is the term of first world technology. And so yes, we will likely need resources outside of what we have now in order so that we don't have wars over oil become wars over rare earths, which is kind of what's starting to happen. And so we do need to find things outside this earth and find ways to exploit other.
We need to find God. We need to get spiritually inclined. We need to become a human race that recognizes empathy and respect and love. And that's not there right now. We're living in a world of this. Hold on, let me say this because y'all need to hear this shit. Y'all over here talking about going and mining asteroids, or that's what they're trying to do, and this, that, and the third. When all the resources on this earth that's been here was for all of us to utilize, but the 1% took that shit, capitalized on it at the expense of all of us. And some of us are so brainwashed and warped that we're repeating their talking points and thinking like them, and we ain't got a pot to piss in or window to throw it out of. Because most of you motherfuckers on here, I don't care if you make 100,000 a year or whatever you make, at the end of the day, the world, the inflation and everything going on is making that shit nothing. So imagine how it is for the people who are really poverty stricken. But we're so concerned about selling their talking points, how AI isn't a bad thing, and it's going to make it easier for us. Wrong. Wrong. It's going to put your ass at a point of non-existence. It's going to be you versus the machine. And the 1% look at you like, I'd rather have this machine that I don't have to pay any benefits to, that I don't have to give a pension to, that doesn't take days off. I'd rather take that over you.
Yeah.
So what does that leave you?
But how can you stop China, Truck? How can you try to stop China for creating and developing AI? I know what you're talking about our country, but how can you stop China? Like, we're over here, they're over there creating it.
You can't.
Yeah, exactly.
I like to have I don't mind having an intelligent conversation about this. It's something I deal with. I just actually put up an AI myself on avatar on Facebook, which I'm actually trying to replace myself. There are conversational. I know. Yeah, it's not something that. It's not something that and I don't want to disrespect you because I'm 44. It's not something that some of the older generation will understand. But yes, replacing yourself and replacing your work ethic is going to be a thing going in the next probably 5 years. And so, if we want to have like a good conversation about this, I don't mind having it. There are reasons why we should slow the rise of population. That's a different topic. But some of these things that these people are talking about are to continue to protect the standard of living of Americans.
Why should we lower the population? Give me one reason.
Not lower the population, but you want to stabilize. You want to stabilize the birth rate because humans are. We're an invasive species, and if there's too many of us, right? There's 8.1 billion of us on the world. Once you get to 10 billion, 11 billion, we're already having wars over resources.
That's greed, though. That's not anything the human being birth has anything to do with. That's the greed of the 1%, bro. That's the 1%. In your mind is already bought into the whole narrative that the 1% wants your dumb ass to believe. I call it dumb, but that's what they want you to believe. That population control is a good thing. And that AI replaces your ability. Hold on. The AI is replacing your innovation that you create, and it's a good thing. To eliminate you.
Sure.
To eliminate the train of human beings.
To so help in on responding, are there starving people in the world right now?
There's always been starving people in the world.
There are people that need clean water.
But the point is the starving people in the world are starving because the greedy people who manipulate the resources to make a profit. It ain't because of the earth. It ain't because of what the earth turns out. The reason people are in the position they're in right now, hunger, is because you have greedy corporations and 1% entities and people who come in that realm and manipulate the shit to make profits off of humans. That's it, dude. So when you see poverty and you see people in nations that had the resources, but did they come in, colonize, and take over, and then sell shit to them at rates they can't afford? That's how poverty is created. That's how homelessness is created. Homelessness is buying all the land and property up and charging you an amount that you could not pay if you wanted to, no matter what you did. That creates homelessness. It's greed, dude. And some of you make less than me. I'm not rich. I'm not rich at all. I'm what you might even call middle class. But I'm gonna tell you what this is, man. End of the day, I'm watching people who make less money than me taking the whole side of what the oligarchy and Trump them are putting out there. They're repeating 1% talking points, and you ain't even surviving. You're barely getting back.